Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Thematic Transformations. I love this series because I get to play you samples of things and we get to actually listen to music. That must be why it's one of the less popular ones. I wish people would listen to the things that have music in them. I'd love to talk, but this is so much more fun. Anyway, I hope if you're watching this, you already have. So what can I say? I can just fetch. Well, I'm good at that too. Here we are, Roussel, Symphony number 3. How's that for an unusual one? Actually, this is not only one of the most marvelous examples of thematic transformation in the repertoire. I mean, it's a masterpiece that, not enough people know. Roussel was such a terrific composer. He's most famous for his ballet Bacchus and Ariane, which is also on this disc, which features the Royal Scottish National Orchestra under Stéphane Deneuve. There it is. On Naxos. This symphony was commissioned by the Boston Symphony for its 50th anniversary. It was around 1929-ish, I guess. And it's the one Roussel symphony everybody plays. His greatest, I believe, is his second symphony, but that's a whole other kettle of beans. And that has some pretty cool thematic transformation in it as well. It really, really does. But this one just knocks it out of the park. It's not a long symphony. It's only about 25 minutes long and in neoclassical style, and it's full of vivacious rhythm and spiky, pungent harmony, and it has, that gets transformed, a motto theme of 5 notes, and all kinds of things happen to this motto theme of 5 notes. It's not really a theme, it's a motive, and it appears in all 4 movements, and it's pretty obvious when it shows up, but sometimes it's a little bit more subtle. The first time we hear it is at the climax of the first movement, and that in itself is unusual, because normally in the Romantic period, when composers write themes with mottos, like let's say Tchaikovsky's Fifth, da 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 ba. Well, that's the happy version that comes later, but you hear it right at the beginning. Rachmaninoff's too. Do 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 do. It opens with the motto. So the composer is saying, "Hey, here's our motto." We just talked about Elgar's Second, which has a motto. Rarely, rarely comest thou, spirit of delight, which is ya da 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 da. Well, never mind, that was awful. But you like I said, you hear it right at the start. Roussel doesn't do it that way. You could argue that this particular motto evolves out of some of the opening thematic material of the symphony, which is a sort of a different conversation, but it becomes the motto at the climax, and I'm going to play it for you. It's very, very easy to remember. My goodness, it's this big, bold, crashing thing, and you hear it twice. So here's a tiny bit of intro to it, and then yam bum bum ba dum. That's it. And that wasn't too bad. That was pretty close. So here you go. And that's the motto. Ya da 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 da. Very, very easy to remember. It's catchy, and when it returns, it will return always with 5 notes to start anyway. Then things happen to it, but not necessarily in the same rhythm. So, you can go da, 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 or you can go ya, da, 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 with all the same, note values, or you could double some of them. All kinds of things can happen. That motto becomes the thematic substance of the entire second movement. And Roussel works it into the opening melody over and over again. I mean, it keeps coming back to it. It's a very, very beautiful, brooding, moody piece of music. So let's listen to the opening of the second movement. that wonderful? The way he keeps coming back to that ya da 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 da. I mean, that's what begins the whole movement. I mean, it's just over and over again. Sometimes in canon with itself, and it creates a whole lovely web of melody. And the second movement goes on like that with some contrasting thematic material. And there you go. That's the first major thematic transformation. The next one is in the scherzo. Now, the scherzo it's very short. It's less than 3 minutes long. I mean, in this performance, maybe I can tell you how long it lasts. Here we go. Yes, it's 2 minutes and 59 seconds. It's a tiny, adorable, wonderfully fresh movement. And I'm going to play you from the beginning to where the motto appears. The motto in this case is the main theme of the scherzo, but it's a different version of it. It's da-da-dum-bum-bum, da-da-dum-bum-bum. Let me get it right. Da-da-dum-bum-bum, da-da-dum-bum-bum, da-da-dum-bum. Yeah, it's like that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da-da-dum-bum-bum. It's still 5 notes, but they're a little bit different. You get the shape of it. Remember, da-da-da, da-dum, and now it's da-da-dum-bum-bum, da-da-dum-bum-bum. Get it? It's like really like very, very easy to hear. Roussel wants you to hear it. He wants you to get the transformations because he wants you to hear how many different moods and expressions this simple little motto can assume as the music progresses. So let's listen to the opening of the scherzo leading up to that main theme, which I'm going to play sort of this opening section because you hear it a couple of times. Here it is. Yeah, da da dum ba ba, da da dum ba ba, da da dum ba 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 ba. Wonderful, isn't it? It's just light and French, very, very French. Now the finale also features the motto, but not as part of its normal thematic material. It opens up with this really peppy little flute tune, do 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 like that. And then there's a big march, dum ba da da dum bum ba dum ba bum. And it just goes rolling along, and eventually it slows down. And there's this really serene, soft, calm interlude with a solo violin. And the solo violin plays, you guessed it, the motto. This is, by the way, another one of those pieces that William Walton seemed to be very, very conscious of. Walton owes a lot to Roussel. There's an interlude in his finale of his first symphony, with a solo trumpet in this case, rather than a solo violin, that sounds an awful lot like this one. Not the same motto. Just as Walton in his partita sort of filched the opening of Roussel's Suite en Fa, Suite in F. It's very interesting, the comparison between the two composers. Most people don't bother to make it because most people don't care about those two composers. But if you do, interesting things happen. So, the finale, let's listen to that soft interlude where the solo violin slowly and sadly brings in the motto. It barely whispers it out. Here you go. However, it is not to remain that way. After hearing it in its softest, saddest, and most wistful form, we end the symphony in high spirits with three, get it, three repetitions of the motto, bringing the piece to a vivacious and triumphant conclusion. Here they are. And that's it. Easy, isn't it? I mean, it's a short symphony. This will be a short chat. These transformations are short transformations. Everything about it is extremely concise, and which forces me to be unusually concise as well. So thank Albert Roussel for that. And I hope you've enjoyed this little chat. I mean, this is such a marvelous piece. Go listen to the whole symphony and see how Roussel works the motto into all of the movements in all of their widely differing characters. I mean, the piece has a vast expressive range, but it's all done with incredible poise and charm and wit and brevity and pathos. And it's got everything. And it's got everything in a really, really tight space. Totally cool. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me, and take care.